Nicodemus here. On today's episode, I wanted to piggyback off of Thursday night's ACIM class that just passed last night, 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. Eastern. You're talking about I need do nothing. And for me, I feel like that's one of the most powerful lessons, and I want you to jump into it to help our subs.
Yeah. Well, I'll give you a little background about how it came out. It's a very famous part of Course in Miracles, I need do nothing. And repeat it to yourself throughout the day. You start to feel just even better. It's like, I need do nothing. Of course, we're going to do all kinds of stuff in our life. A little background on how it came about, it being very famous and well-known part of the course was Helen. She lived in Manhattan, and I think it was the 16th floor or something. And in her older age, she was afraid of walking up and down the steps, and because she was so high up, uh, if the elevator didn't work, she was scared of that she wouldn't be able to get out of the house or get, if something happened in the building. So they got a letter from the association that they were gonna do construction on the building, and Helen got really frantic and freaked out. So she was so afraid that she got her husband and they got a hotel for days until the construction was done. It turned out they never ended up doing the construction. So all of her worrying and planning and fear was for nothing. And Jesus said to her, he said, you would have been better off just realizing I need you nothing. And that she would have been guided very specifically if she needed it. And it really applies for us in our life. I want to read to you this part from the course. It says, this is from chapter 18, section 7, paragraph 5. It says, sentence 7. When peace comes at last to those who wrestle with temptation, and that temptation is really the temptation to forget God, the temptation to be pulled into the world and forget our true nature. When peace comes at last to those who wrestle with temptation, fight against the giving in to separation. When the light comes at last into the mind, given to contemplation. So when the light comes after long periods, a lifetime of contemplation, or when the goal is finally achieved by anyone, it always comes with just one happy realization. I need do nothing. It goes on, it says, I need do nothing. It is a statement of allegiance, a truly undivided loyalty. Believe it for just one instant, and you will accomplish more than is given to a century of contemplation or a struggle against temptation. And he goes on to say throughout the day and through our life, when he was saying to Helen, is yet there will always this I need do nothing. There will always be this place of rest to which you can return. And you will be more aware of this quiet center of the storm than all its raging activity. This quiet center in which you do nothing will remain with you, giving you rest in the midst of every busy doing on which you are sent. So I need you nothing is a statement of complete loyalty and allegiance to the Holy Spirit. I need you nothing, that God will do all things through me. I need you nothing. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm going to sit on the couch all day and I'm just going to do nothing. It's not talking about in the form of our life. It's talking about this quiet center that we bring to all the doing of our life. This quiet center that I need you nothing because there's nothing in this world that could add to me and there's nothing in this world that could take away from me. There's no place in which I'm threatened or vulnerable by the doings of life. Now, just imagine if you could bring I need you nothing into all of the doing of your life. That means that you would, it's like if you think of the ocean, it doesn't matter all the raging activity, which is what he just spoke about on the surface. No matter how crazy the ocean is, I've been in the ocean on really crazy days, storms. If you dive down, I love free diving. If you dive down, it's always still, it's always quiet. Well, what Jesus is talking about in the Course is that it's the same for us, that in the midst of all the activity of our life that can seem like chaos, can seem like the unknown, and we're being, thrown about the wind in our life. It could feel like that when you look at all the busy doing and all the raging activity on the surface. But I need you nothing comes from deep within us when our heart and our mind are aligned with the Holy Spirit, are aligned with God. Need you nothing, and I'll be led and I'll be guided to all the doing that is needed for me. But I do nothing in it. There's a whole philosophy from India that is based on that you're not actually doing anything. There's no individual doer within us. It's all God moving through us. So I need do nothing. What it does is it takes away this incessant fear and anxiety around the individual doer that I think of myself as in my thoughts. Like, I got to get this done. I got to do that. All that. That's chaos. So when we can come back to I need do nothing, he says, you'll always, yet there will always be this place of rest to which you can return. And you'll be more aware of this quiet center of the storm than all its raging activity. And what Jesus was communicating to Helen, that if she had just trusted that, that she would have been guided very specifically if she needed to do something. But through her own volition, through her own need, she ended up spending a lot of time, money, energy on something that wasn't even needed. How often do we do that? So see as you go throughout your day, whatever it is that you're called to do throughout the day, whether it's going to work, taking care of the kids, taking care of yourself, whatever it is, can you surrender that action and all the results of that to the Holy Spirit? That I need do nothing, and yet God does all things through me. And that gives us this peace in the quiet of whether it's a storm, whether it's crazy waves, crazy movement at the top of the ocean of our lives. We can stay still in that quiet center. And the irony is that the more that we practice this, the more it seems like things work out for us, that actually our doing becomes more effective. I put that in quotes because, yes, of course, we're doing in our life. It becomes more effective when I get myself out of the way and let God come through me. And then you'll be guided very specifically on things that that need to get done. You'll be guided very specifically to people, to places, to things that are perfect for you and your own curriculum for awakening. So practice that today and really bask in the freedom and the joy and the peace that this reaffirmation of our allegiance to the Holy Spirit gives to us. I need do nothing.